Hi everyone, welcome back in. Are sitting here in the studio today on this very rainy day, and we are just continuing to work on our pastel blanket. I am currently working with Premier Stash Goals Sprout color. Absolutely love Premier Yarns. You guys, if you haven't been to their site, if you haven't checked out their yarns, let me just start by saying Premier Yarns truly is some of the best chenille yarns that I've come across. I really truly do love working with their yarn. And no, this is not a sponsored video at all by any means. My channel is way too small to be sponsored. But their yarn really truly is some of the best yarns that I have worked with. And I've tried Bernat Blanket. I've tried, the Yarn Bee brand from Hobby Lobby. I I really enjoy that as well. I'll just say. Now I can't use, and I say can't, and I'll explain why I can't. I can't use Red Heart. It's not because it's acrylic. It's not because it's a cheaper yarn per se. It is simply because I can't use four weighted yarn, and most of theirs is four weighted yarns. I am not a fan of that thin yarn by any means. As you guys, I'm sure, have noticed, I have larger hands, and that thin yarn, I can't tell that I'm holding it. If I can't feel it, then I can't control it, and I have to be able to control my tension. So these thicker, bulkier yarns work wonderful for me. Right. I will say, Sprout is really pretty, but I do feel like this particular, at least this skein of it, I would put probably toward the bottom of their quality when it comes to stash gold. So this lavender that I used, this gorgeous lavender, it was amazing. I'm sorry, you guys probably couldn't hear me all that well. I had my mic way too far over. The lavender was amazing. It was probably top tier for me. This sprout, however, quality is still good. The quality is still wonderful. The difference for me is it has a bit of a stiffer feel to it than what the lavender does. And it's not gliding quite as smoothly as what most of the stash goals do for me. It's not horrible. It's definitely not the worst yarn that I've ever used. Put that out there. I would put this sprout probably in the same tier as their mint. their mint is not one of my favorite yarns to work with. Now, I'm not sure if it's the dyeing process of the fiber, but for some reason their mint is just, I don't know, it's much more factory second than what any of their other Stash Goals yarn is. And I would say that that would carry over into Sprout, at least for my hands and the way that I like my yarn to flow across my hooks. Or, goodness gracious, the way that I like my yarn to flow across my hooks. That's what I meant to say. It's still good. It's still better than the experience I've had with some yarns. It definitely still feels really good across my hand, going through my fingers. It's just pulling a bit more on my hook than what I normally like. Oh, maybe it's just the moisture in the air today. Could definitely be. So tell me, you guys, what's on your hooks today? I have no plans of doing anything other than sitting and working on this blanket, at least for a little while. It's kind of a cool day for being April. Normally, this time of year, we are inching closer and closer to that 100-degree mark, and today's in the 60s, which I could definitely do without. I know most of you probably absolutely love the 60s because where you are at is possibly much colder than what we ever get here. This time of year for us, we've been seeing 90s for 2 months, 80s and 90s for 2 months already at this point. We'll be seeing the hundreds soon, I'm sure. Although, this is our rainy season. My yard just finally greened back up again. My trees are finally starting to gather their leaves. Looking out my window, all I see is greenery, and I do love it. I love to see it. I don't love having to take care of it. That part's no fun. But it's a lot better than looking out my window and seeing nothing but sand. So, no, that's a plus. That's a good change for me. Where we used to live, all sand, all sand. There was no real dirt where we used to live at in Texas. And here we have dirt, we have trees, we have grass, we have palm trees. Go figure. We have regular trees as well. I am just a rambling person today, aren't I? I'm going to just talk about anything and everything. Okay. Nice and slow and cozy. Because that is what the quiet place is all about. Sitting here in my quiet little zone, ignoring all the outside tension and stressors. Wants to be stressed all the time. Not me. Right. I didn't even have a stitch marker in that one. That's crazy. One downside to working with chenille yarns is all the little fuzzies that you end up with all over. And I don't mean just on you, but they're all over the floor and the desk and any surface really that is in the room. Yep, you're going to have fuzzies everywhere. Some of these chenille yarns are worse than others when it comes to the amount of shed. These ones aren't usually too bad. Fuzzies stay closer to me and my desktop. Look how pretty it's turning out to be. I love this. It's going to be a pretty blanket. Now, my throw blankets, I usually use 6 skeins of yarn. And then I will, when I go to add the border, I will use maybe 50 to 100 yards. Probably closer to the 50 to 75 yards for the border. Now I do simple borders, yeah, guys. I don't really do the fancy borders. They're great. They're very beautiful. They are very beautiful borders. But the types of blankets that I use, the type of throw blankets that I make, simple's easier. It really is. But also on top of that, with this bulky yarn, these chenille style yarns, you don't need a fancy border. So that's just what I stick with. It's just usually a single crochet, maybe a double or a half double crochet border is more than enough. Really don't need anything more. Anyway, I'm going to go for now. I appreciate you guys coming into the quiet place and sitting and relaxing with me and just stitching. I appreciate you. I really do. Until next time, be you, always. Bye, y'all.